Who's that coming down the track? Who's that coming down the track? It's a mean she in red light. Ain't nothing finer in the red. You look at my she's straight there.
What's up, y'all? This is John, Mike, and Caleb back for another episode of the Nothing Finer podcast. Tonight, we are starting one of what we understand is a fan favorite series, and it is Puncher's Chance. We are starting in April this year. Hopefully, that gives us a chance to actually interview
Puncher,
everybody.
a puncher's chance.
Yeah,
Someone's
Puncher's Chance. Um, but obviously, we're going to get into the draft a little bit at the end. Cover maybe a couple of other things. I feel like I'm forgetting something, well, like I always am. But how have y'all been? What are you drinking?
I have been good. I almost fell asleep on the way in here because we've had such a insane few days. Had a child turn 5 and have a party and everything that comes with that, and so we are exhausted. And then I'm extra exhausted because my wife and I've been doing a water aerobics class on Mondays,
oh,
and we bring the average age of the people in that class down to 65. I'm definitely the most in shape person in there. But it's good. I'm learning that if I exaggerate everything to a ridiculous degree, I can actually feel it and get a decent workout out of it. So that has been fun. Uh, I've cracked open another Mike's Hard Lemonade. So
There you go.
there you go.
how y'all doing?
No, I'm good. I know it's been a while since I've been on a have a Diet Coke with me. Yeah, I almost fell asleep as well. I kind of woke myself back up a couple minutes ago. No, man, but I mean, in some ways it's slowing down. In other ways it's starting to just pick up. Baseball's over. Did not make the playoffs, so I know the haters are
Boo.
rejoicing. Yeah. Um, I will say we did tie the two best teams in the league, and that's kind of why we didn't end up making the playoff because we got,
Those weren't wins.
yeah, exactly. We were like 3, 4, and 2, like a good hockey team. But no, man, and then no, all my assignments are done for my master's degree. I'm just waiting to walk, so that's exciting. But then, I mean, just outside of that, I mean, just end of school year stuff is just chaotic. It's just survival mode at
And the
this
last
point.
day of the school year, you will be uh, less than 100%, to
I will
say
be
the least.
violently hungover more than likely. But it's okay because it's the last day of school. We're gonna be playing. I think we're doing a dodgeball tournament, so that'll be fun.
Man,
Nice.
I'm just going to go ahead and put this thought in your head so you can already feel the pain. Violently hungover, wearing your sunglasses inside at like 8 in the morning, and you get hit in the face with a dodgeball.
I might lose the job that day. I got the what do you call them, the Shane Beamer like douchebag glasses.
Oh, there we go. That
The
that is the
Official.
actual that is the official name, actually.
I
yeah,
think
I
I
got
think he bought Pit Viper just to
yeah, there
remember
we
it.
go. Yeah, no, at the Brock Bowers and Lad McConkey camp that my son went to a few weeks ago, he asked me to buy those for him, so I just have them sitting in the car, so I'll probably whip those out.
You should absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
But how about you, John? How you doing?
Good. Yeah, we went to that concert this weekend in Sanford. It was really cool. I actually had a lot better of a time than I thought I was gonna have because of the songs I remember that Jason Aldean and Luke Bryan played. I don't think they did anything. Um, I don't really think they did very many things that either of them made after 2015.
That's
Mm,
probably for the best, right?
yeah.
Well, Jason Aldean did play the one song that,
That try that in a small town thing.
uh-huh, yeah,
Of course it is. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. I was like, man, okay. All right, that's
Of
fine.
course you did. Yeah.
But no, it was actually a lot of fun. I got a new hat
Did
in Athens, which is nice.
did Luke Bryan do his part of that song with Quavo and Teddy Swims?
Oh yeah, the back-to-back Natty Lights line at the very least.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Lame.
Whack. I mean,
I'm gonna
that's
be
why the
honest,
song's
guys.
made.
I had a decent amount of alcohol, but like I had enough that I was in a great mood no matter what happened, but not enough to like potentially ruin anyone, including myself tonight.
There
I
you
didn't
go.
wake up with a hangover, like I was fine, but there's definitely some songs that I do not remember them playing that were played, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
Fair
Um,
enough.
yeah, man. And because of the way we got the tickets, we were in the student section,
Okay.
and that comes to all the student things, like frat boys being so drunk when they showed up they couldn't stand up before the concert started, and one of them dancing like he was a quadriplegic that somebody hooked up a car battery to him, just like flopping. No, there's no muscle contractions doing this. It was 100% like not strapped down, but in the electric chair dancing.
Like like the Holy Ghost got him, but not the Holy Ghost.
Right, but maybe like an unholy ghost,
Yeah,
maybe.
like
Yeah, there we go.
demonic possession.
Um,
Yes, indeed.
and he accidentally elbowed my wife's little sister in the nose and didn't even notice. And so like I had to move over and talk to him and be like, "Hey man, just get you drunk, get you having a good time, but if you can't control where your limbs are moving, I suggest you go to the other side of your friend group." And he was like, "Okay." And he just walked to the other side, and I was like, "So much easier than I thought.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
in. I'm in." But no, it was a good time. Uh, there was something else that I was gonna say. I don't remember. Getting
Well, I mean,
another
we're
concussion
all.
this year that was not good for my memory.
No, I wasn't say we're all down. We're all RSVP'd for the Best of Savannah thing in a couple
Hmm.
weeks, so that's exciting.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't really plan on going, did all the way to, unless y'all are gonna like come up here and kidnap me or something. I don't.
I, look, I already paid for your ticket, so you are coming one way or another.
Oh boy. Okay. Well,
Um, but let's go ahead and get into the puncher's chance. We are going to talk about. Excuse me. We're going to talk about last year's teams. Before we get into this, so my teams last year: Oklahoma, 2024 6-7, 2025 10-3, made the playoff. Some would say that is a pretty significant improvement.
mm-hmm.
And then I guess I kind of have two other teams because I had one that I talked about and I was excited about, but apparently a lot of ACC teams are scared to talk to us or something. I don't know.
Back. Yeah.
But first one was Louisville, and then I kind of ended up swapping to Florida, but I kind of didn't because we just talked to one of the guys from Stadium and Gale, and I don't even remember if that was like technically a puncher's chance. I put it in here because behind the scenes we had talked about it taking over for Louisville. But anyways, Louisville 2024 they were 9-4. 2025 they were 9-4. Uh, Florida. Do we need to talk about Florida?
No.
Okay.
I think we all know what happened to Florida.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, we
Yeah.
laugh
Okay.
about it.
I will say
Yeah.
Louisville did beat the runner-up for the national champions in hilarious fashion.
They certainly did. How many interceptions they get that day?
5.
They would have been 5 without a stupid penalty.
Hey, that was an NFL quarterback that they intercepted that many times.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. Technically, that's true. Which
The
is
Arizona
funny.
Cardinals' next failed quarterback draft or
Yeah.
draft
Which
pick.
Which my nephew this past NFL season decided to do what I did and abandon the Falcons, and he picked the Arizona Cardinals for whatever reason as his favorite team
But
at that
why? They
time.
weren't even good.
No, they
But
weren't, and he's
it
he's
happened.
he's just miserable right now. He's going through it.
It's not too late to just switch again.
That's what I
Mhm.
told him. The Eagles
Look,
are still available. The Falcons have Cash Jones. Like
Who?
they might be secondary for me again.
we're gonna get into the draft stuff, but and not even Georgia related. I think the Chargers may have had the best draft in the entire NFL. Like I think they have just gone from like wild card, maybe get a little punchy in there and get one win to like I on a wild hair I might put $5 on a Charger Super Bowl.
Yeah, they say they have a puncher's chance to win the Super Bowl this year,
Someone
Some
said
would say.
and we bring it back.
All right, Mike, how did your teams do?
No, we don't have to talk about that. It's okay. No,
Nobody went
Kansas.
down.
No, just pretty consistent. So Kansas in 2024, they were 5-7, and I thought, Daniel was coming back and Lance Leipold coming back, all that. They're going to be better. No, they're 5-7 yet again. I don't know. Did they end up going to a bowl game with that 5-7? I guess not.
I
No.
don't.
Yeah, I included the bowl game in the record.
Okay, so they did not. Okay, they probably turned that down. Or maybe they didn't. I don't know. I don't know if they do school in Kansas. I don't know. But 5-7
Do
both
they
both
play
years.
school?
Yeah, probably not. Not
I would
the
hope so if they're finishing 5-7 2 years in a row. I'd hope they're doing something else with their
Yeah,
time.
when's the last time
Yeah,
they
right.
won a basketball national championship either? Because that's the one thing they got going for
I would say it's been a little bit. I would
Yeah.
say the last 10 years, maybe 15.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Basketball's not a real sport, so
It's
That's
true.
true.
That's not. It hasn't been since like 82.
Yeah.
And then speaking of which, Michigan, not a basketball or not their basketball team, but the football team, 2024 8-5, and then 2025 somehow went 9-4, but it felt worse than that.
it did.
At one time, Michigan had a legitimate chance, though, to make the Big Ten championship. They could have just
They
beaten Ohio State. But the reason it felt worse is because they didn't beat Ohio State this year after several years in a row of beating them.
And the way they
Also-
lost to Ohio State too was just it was a beatdown. It was never in question, really.
Yeah.
Also, does anyone want to play offense game against Oklahoma wasn't great.
Yeah.
Who do they lose to in the bowl game?
Texas.
That also makes it worse.
Mm-hmm.
But they had a decent showing against Texas until the wheels fell off at the very end. I mean, at that point, Sharon Moore wasn't there anymore, so
Yeah,
can't
but
blame them.
if you lost to both sides of the Red River rivalry and Ohio State, like it's not a.
Yeah,
Did they lose to Iowa? I'm trying to
I don't
think
think
of
they played.
another good
I don't think they
Big
played
Ten
it.
school.
I don't think they played Iowa. I don't
Did they
know.
play Indiana?
No. Indiana
Or
plays
did
Michigan and Ohio State in back-to-back weeks this coming season, but that's a
Oh,
topic.
wow.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, let me
I'm
see.
trying to.
But the question was about last year, right? Not this
Oh,
year?
they lost to USC. Yep.
Yes, that's right.
That's right. Yeah, I give it to you.
Yeah. All right, Caleb, how did your teams do last year?
Mine definitely improved a little bit, and I seem to have jumped into the wrong set of notes, but I can go ahead and start talking about it if someone can remind me what my first team was. I don't know what my second
Cincinnati.
one was. Cincinnati. Okay, that's right. So, okay, that's a slight improvement. Cincinnati did make a bowl game this year. They went 5-7 in 24, and in 25 they went 7-6.
Could you imagine what they would have done if Brent Sportsby wasn't betting thousands of bets?
For real.
I was about to say
Thousands.
somebody might have bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so my other puncher's chance team was Vanderbilt, who did, they went 7-6 in 2024. Got kind of close to a playoff spot in 2025, ended up finishing 10-3. Their quarterback was a Heisman finalist, so surely he was also a very high NFL draft pick. I wasn't paying attention.
He's on the
No.
he's on the negotiation list for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers or something like that.
There we go.
What he did is he chose to just cuss out people and then bomb all of his interviews and decide he didn't want to pay an agent any of his money. So he didn't even get an undrafted free agent deal. He is currently a mini camp invite to
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Hmm.
And you know they need at least 4 quarterbacks on the roster, so he has a decent chance.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
For when Lamar Jackson's team is not playing well and he won't make the playoff. I mean, when his hamstring is hurt.
Oh, I
And
thought
he
you said
doesn't
when
play 12 of the 17 games.
I was gonna say like when he has to go poop and has to miss some of the game. But yeah, that too.
Yeah. But we're going to get into this year's punchers chance teams. Um, and so we're just going to rotate through. I'm going to start my first team. And if you have listened to us for any length of time, it's going to be a surprise. Because before, a lot of people thought I hated this team. I didn't hate the team. I highly disliked the coach.
I actually hate both, but yeah.
But
Fair.
I got Penn State. And here's the thing. They have to be better. Like, they have to. But I'm not entirely sold on Matt Campbell. I do think Penn State will always have a minimum level of talent and win between 8 and 10 games per year at minimum. I think they probably win between 8 and 10 games last year if Drew Aller stays healthy. As much of it, as much as we joked about how Penn State was, the fact of the matter is the Big Ten's kind of trash outside of like 4 teams. They are one of the 4 teams that's not trash. So,
Hmm.
I am worried that Matt Campbell did just pull a lot of Iowa State guys over. And if you want to talk about college football as tiers, Penn State and their level of competition and their level of play are multiple tiers above Iowa State and their level of competition, their level of play. And the big thing is Penn State fans just like slimed their way out of needing to be on the hook for like $70 million with James Franklin. Between Adidas coming in and paying most of it, and then him trying to do the right thing by Penn State and getting another power conference job.
Hmm.
Like I think they ended up paying him less than $20 million to fire him, which crazy.
Yeah, right.
So they, girl math here. Penn State has $50 million to fire their next head coach or two.
I mean, Matt Campbell's definitely capable of just like he was at Iowa State, winning like 10 games at like once every 4 years. So I don't know if that's going to be good enough for them.
Well, 10 games every year was good enough, but every 4 years is the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they do got Rocco back, so that's the best quarterback they've had in a long time.
About 10 years.
Yeah,
Because
since Tristan Thorley, right?
I was about to say, Trace McSorley was the Big Ten's Baker Mayfield.
Hmm. All right, so my first team, I'm not necessarily excited about this. Kind of got to the party late with picking my teams, so this was one of the first ones I thought of. But my first team is LSU. Somehow it always comes back to LSU. I don't know why I end up being high on them like right when the season starts. I think I picked them to win, to not win, but get to the SEC championship last season. Obviously, that did not happen. But I'm picking LSU. Not a fan of Lane Kiffin, of course, but he is an upgrade over Brian Kelly. And just, I don't know if you want me to say this next line.
If you feel like it, absolutely go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay. I'd rather have an expensive hoe than a Wednesday afternoon stripper with a C-section scar. So
And it's really funny you made that joke because working in Hinesville this week.
oh
And
boy.
there's a strip club that I wouldn't say I frequented, but I had been to a few times around Fort Stewart called the Silver Dollar Lounge. And it is affectionately known around Hinesville as the Rusty Nickel instead of the Silver
Golly.
Dollar. And just it looks like the carpet that they put on the stage. They just went to a Dollar General that was closing and got all of their like outdoor carpets and stapled them onto the stage. As
Nice.
like there's way too much light in the room for me to notice that as the problem, right?
Wow.
And that Wednesday afternoon is much more like a Friday night, or used to be. Watch the friend get kicked out of there. He told a girl she
Nice.
wasn't worth $1 and then slapped the bouncer.
Assuming some
Well,
alcohol was involved in those decisions.
Um, I, I think enough alcohol that multiple people should have gotten kicked out. Like just
Mm.
him. He drank enough for like 2 people.
Oh,
there you
wow.
go.
Oh, all right. Well, on that wonderful note, let's move on to my first puncher's chance teams. We're going back to James Franklin here because I put Virginia Tech
The
as one of
Hinesville
my,
of the Big Ten, or
so,
ACC, some would say.
some might say, yes. Um, but I'll tell you what, we pick on James Franklin a lot when he was at Penn State because
He deserved it.
because he deserved it, and he was not good enough to get Penn State to a level where they wanted to be. Virginia Tech would be very happy to go 10-2 every year.
He's the Mike White of college football. He's a floor raiser.
Yeah, yeah. And so that's that. But you can't say Virginia Tech won't elevate over what they've normally been, not just because of James Franklin, but because of everything that he brings with him. We got a lot of incoming transfers, none of which are huge, game-changing five-star players. But for a team in the ACC, they've got some pretty good guys coming in. Last year's backup at Penn State, Ethan Grunkemeyer, is following him over. He's got a couple of players, including Justin Terry, coming out of the transfer portal in the Big Ten. And again, a lot of players that were on that Penn State roster last year as well, following him over to Virginia Tech. So again, not a world-beating roster, not a roster that I feel like is going to compete in a college football playoff. But in the ACC in particular, we saw 7-5 Duke team win that conference last year. It could
Some
get
would
them
say the
there.
best team in the conference.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Some might
They are
say,
ranked. Yeah.
shout out to my bandwagon team from last season, the Duke Blue Devils, for making me angry and then winning the conference. But so yeah, again, this is strictly within the context of Virginia Tech being inside of the ACC. They've got a shot at something this year with this roster they've put together and with James Franklin as their coach.
I'm very interested to, when we get to the interview part of it, I'm very interested to see what the guys, I cannot remember the name of the podcast, Virginia Tech podcast we talked to like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what it was. I can't.
But
I can
they were
see
good.
that. Yeah,
They
they
were
were
great.
good.
They were
Yeah.
great. So I'm really interested to see what they think, especially because I'm pretty sure we talked trash about Penn State and James Franklin in that podcast.
See if they remember that. I'm sure they
Um,
do.
I just there was legitimately like a 12-month period where every offseason episode ended up with me saying something negative about James Franklin. I just I cannot stand the guy. And I hate
Yeah.
that he's a Virginia Tech because I want to like Virginia Tech.
Hmm.
All right, so my next puncher's chance team, I got Oklahoma State.
I was
And
gonna do them until I saw
Yeah.
that you had done them.
you could have taken the other team that I had listed.
You got it though.
All right. And I will say it's because I'm a believer in Eric Morris. I'm a believer in Drew Mestamaker. Oklahoma State has always had great skill talent in the program. They've never had bad wide receivers. They've never really had bad running backs. It's the quarterback position, the offensive line that's always kind of brought the offense down. And that's something that I believe that Eric Morris is going to correct. The one time this is really mentioned, just because I already put it in and then realized it was not the post spring returning production, but 42nd in returning production, bringing over most of the coaching staff from North Texas, so the continuity is there even with different uniforms. Normally, I'm kind of iffy on bringing over most of your staff and players from one school to another when you get hired But I think Oklahoma State was in such bad disrepair as a program that they needed a pre-built foundation to come in and kind of bring the program to before slowly kind of transitioning guys out. Um, Being that they had two of the worst years in program history over the last two.
Hmm.
So,
Almost like hiring Todd Grantham put your program in a bad position.
correct.
Go figure.
Some would say. Some would say. But I'm excited about that. I'm really looking forward to talking to somebody from around Oklahoma State. They've always been a very interesting program to me, especially since I started paying more attention going back to the Spencer Sanders days. And I know that's just a few years ago, but I that the team that Spencer Sanders and I guess it was a 2023 Oklahoma
Hmm.
State team was one of my favorite to watch week in and week out. Um, so it'll be really interesting to see what they've got to say about it.
And then sticking in the Big 12 and just going to a different Kansas team, I have Kansas State. I think they went 6-6 last season. But kind of the reason why I wanted to go with them is that they did add Colin Klein as their new head coach. Not necessarily like a world beater in the recruiting or the transfer portal and all that for the Wildcats, but they do have a favorable Big 12 schedule for the most part. And I think probably the most difficult game that they have this coming season is probably Tulane, and they're obviously not a Big 12 team, but um, every now and then, just like I mean, really any team in the Big 12, it can be anybody's ear at any point as long as they're not playing Texas Tech. But again, Texas Tech might be a wild card too because they don't have a quarterback right now. So we'll see.
I was about to call Avery Johnson football Fabio, but I feel like he's actually just a Disney princess with shoulder pads.
I like the comparison.
Yeah.
Go look up Avery Johnson football and look through the first few pictures, and objectively, he's a pretty good looking dude, and the hair doesn't help the baby face when I say Disney
Oh
princess and
wow,
football pads.
man.
Yeah.
The baby face. I don't
Yeah.
know, man. I think you could give this man a toupee on his chin and couldn't grow a beard out of it.
There's so many things I'm gonna say. I could say, but I'm not gonna.
All right, why don't we just
He's
move on?
20. He's 21.
There's no way.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
All
Yeah.
right. This man can legally drink alcohol. I
Yeah.
doubt it.
Well, maybe if he drank some more and put some hair on his chin.
Yeah.
Facts.
All right. So for my other puncher's chance team, I actually went with Kentucky, which is crazy in the SEC. I know. But hear me out. That's really it's very similar logic to Virginia Tech, except better in pretty much every way. So they are upgrading from Mark Stoops, who some might call Kentucky's version of James Franklin, and I mean he's not winning 10 games every year, but he's the same every year is what I'm getting at with that.
He's Iowa.
Yeah, that's accurate. He is Iowa. And so they are replacing him with a guy in Will Stein who seems to be on a really good track coming into things. And then the transfers that they are bringing in this year, they actually are bringing in some four-star guys out of the transfer portal. They got Elijah Barnes out of Texas. They got Nick Anderson, who's not a five-star guy, but a very good receiver. They sniped him over from LSU. They'll have Kenny Minchie at quarterback this year, who
And just
I
so
thought was
many
the better
name
quarterback at Notre
memes.
Dame last year. So many what?
Name memes.
Name memes. Yeah, that is also true. But yeah, just they've got a lot of big names and a lot of names that were probably underappreciated on their teams last year, coming in to Kentucky to make a name for themselves. And I see Kentucky probably beating a few teams that they shouldn't, and sometimes that's all it takes to make a run and get to the SEC championship. I haven't looked at their
Ooh,
schedule yet.
throwing out some fiery takes.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're going to do it. I'm just saying sometimes that's all it takes is to win the right games at the right time. They got to play Alabama, but Alabama's on a downward spiral and they get them at home. They got to play in
They,
College Station.
they play Georgia, right? They're one of the.
Nope,
No, they don't.
not
Oh, they're
anymore.
not. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, they play. They when they play LSU, they get them at home. Um, really, they've got a couple of really tough games. They got Texas A&M on the road, and they've got Tennessee on the road, and all their other kind of hard matchups you'd expect from them are at home. They do get
Oklahoma's
Oklahoma
also
on the
on the
road.
road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I see.
that's gonna be a rough one too. But look, you win two of those three or one of those three road games, and
Give yourself a shot.
you give yourself a really good chance, puncher's chance, if you will. So yeah, that's Kentucky is a puncher's chance team I want to throw out there, and later on, spoiler alert, I might make them my bandwagon team this year. We will have to see.
Especially because they don't play Georgia.
Yeah, that's a big one.
All right, so we do have a few honorable mentions, and I wrote these in here. So if y'all have any others that you'd like to throw in, go right on ahead. The first one, I have Clemson, and it's mainly because they can't continue to be that bad, but it's also possible that they do continue to be that bad. Who really knows? I will say everything that I continue to hear about Clemson makes that take that I had a few years ago. Clemson will never win another playoff game with Dabo Swinney as their head coach because of the offensive line issues. It makes me feel so much better. Everything I hear about Clemson makes me feel
But
better about it.
they do have Chad Morris back.
I'm so glad I didn't pick them.
Right.
If I had picked them and you mentioned that, I may have swapped them out mid-episode.
Yeah, the Clemson fan in my life was excited about it, which I guess
What?
it makes sense because they were good with Chad Morris. They were, but that was the heyday.
Mm-hmm.
So they were good with 5-star quarterbacks, 5-star wide receivers, and 2-star everything else.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one, I've got Auburn, and that's mainly because I'm very high on Alex Golish. And this is going to sound some type of way if you don't listen to the show very often, so get ready. I like Alex Golish because he isn't autistic about football. He's psycho about football. And it's not that being autistic about football is bad. There's a lot of coaches. Like, bro, you cannot tell me. Good Lord, I can't remember his name. Indiana's head coach.
Sick.
Yeah, Kurt Cignetti's autistic about football. And that's fine.
Mhm.
Like, you win
It's a
titles for
compliment.
that.
It's a compliment.
It's a compliment. But sometimes being psycho about football is better. Like, I truly believe that if Alex Golish, for him, if eating and sleeping was not an option, he would be recruiting and game planning 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Like, he's crazy. But that's a good thing. I will say the concern that I have for Auburn this year, and not really a concern because I still think they're going to do better. I think they make a bowl game at a minimum, but they brought over so many guys from USF. How will that play translate to the SEC?
Those guys at USF did beat Florida in the swamp.
And almost beat Alabama twice.
Yeah.
So
I thought about picking Auburn too, but I just couldn't bring
it's Auburn.
myself
Come
to
on.
it.
Yeah, that's exactly why I didn't do it. But and the last one I have, Arkansas. I really like the hire of Ryan Silverfield, despite him throwing shade at Georgia last year. It was an easy target. I get it. Bringing over key guys to Arkansas, but not the entire team, is big in my opinion. The concern is their schedule, but honestly, if they win one SEC game this year, it's an improvement from last year, and their out-of-conference schedule is slightly easier.
So Georgia plays at Arkansas September 19th. I think that's their SEC opener.
Yeah.
So Kirby doesn't.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
T's and P's.
Yeah, because Kirby don't forget. But I mean, Arkansas played Oklahoma State and Notre Dame last
year.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to pull up their schedule this year. My Wi-Fi has been awful today. Never mind. Their out-of-conference schedule is not any easier.
Yeah, at Utah is rough.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But they have Utah does have a new head coach.
That's true.
Yeah, that's fair. Utah, Tulsa, but then they play at A&M because it's no longer a neutral site game. They
Good.
do get Tennessee at home, at Vanderbilt, Missouri at home, at Auburn, South Carolina at home, at Texas. Finish the season with LSU.
So some tough ones in there for sure. But
Yeah, yeah.
again, it's another one of those cases where you win a couple of those and you might be in real good shape.
I
Mm.
think they beat South Carolina. Like
I could see it.
I'm
Well,
very low on South Carolina this year.
Yeah.
especially in November, that team is going to be
Mm.
probably have quit by that point.
South
Yeah.
Carolina is either in the playoff hunt or like 2-10 by that point in
Yeah.
the season.
Mm.
Yeah. So one I want to throw in there in puncher's chance is the Arizona Wildcats, which I know, every year we seem like we're talking about them, and every year they seem to fall off. But they got Fafita coming back again with a lot of experience, which I don't want to be the lazy, the quarterback's coming back, so they're going to be good guy like everybody else is doing with this certain orange and white team right now. But they've got a lot of continuity in that staff. They've been very patient with that staff, and we know how big of a deal that can be when you can retain your same staff and keep it up. So Arizona might be sneaky this year.
Yeah.
Let's just say,
Y'all,
guys, if Kirby Smart values continuity in the staff, then clearly something matters with that.
Mm.
do y'all want to talk about Georgia players that got drafted? And
Yeah, we
where
can
they're
spend a bit
going?
on that.
Yeah, spend a minute on that.
Yeah, let me
I don't
pull
want
up
to get too deep into it because we are running a little late. All right, so we got Monroe Freeling to the Panthers, Christian Miller to the Saints, C.J. Allen to the Colts, Oscar Delp to the Saints, Zachariah Branch to the Falcons, Dalen Everett to the Steelers, Colby Young to the Bengals, Micah Morris to the Eagles. Just of the guys that were drafted, what is your favorite landing spot for that player?
I really like Zachariah Branch in
Yeah.
Atlanta. Everywhere
Mm.
everywhere Tua Tagovailoa ends up, they seem to want to throw the ball a lot. And hopefully he'll be protected there in Atlanta a little bit better than
Well,
he has
and
been.
Tua can't throw it far.
Right, but that's
So,
perfect because
yeah.
Branch has been catching screens and slants and baking
Mm.
them into big plays.
Mm.
So it's going to be, I think, a really good fit if they can scheme him up the right way. Um, which Bobo did a decent job of, but let's be honest, Zach did a lot of that himself.
Mm.
So if they can just get a little more creative with him than Mike Bobo was, I think he's going to be very, very successful.
Yeah, CJ Allen going to the Colts was a good value pick for them. I'm surprised he went that late. I think he went 53rd overall, but he's going to probably start right away
Yeah.
for them. I think that's going to be a good pickup. I was looking at the ESPN like kind of uh, pre and post draft analysis, and his player comp was Roquan, which I don't know if that's lazy or not, but sure.
I'll take it.
Good
While
for
it
Indy.
is lazy, I see it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, yeah.
And then, of course, I love the Philadelphia Eagles doing their obligatory Georgia football player pick every year.
Especially a front seven guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, he's on the offensive line,
Yeah,
but still,
line
a
of scrimmage
trenches guy.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised Dalen went in the third round.
The thing
Yeah, he was
about
looked
it,
at
that
really
high.
highly because of his athleticism. But
Yeah.
I was about to say, he ran the fastest of any defensive back in the 40. This is something I remember hearing Nick Saban say about Dalen during the draft coverage was Dalen Everett was the most athletic corner, or he said Dalen Everett's one of the most athletic corners I've ever seen. He struggled with shiftier, quicker guys more than he did with fast or larger wide receiver, 50-50 ball type wide receivers. And he thinks that was due to him not being able to flip his hips as quickly. And if Nick Saban has an opinion about a defensive back, I typically listen.
yeah, fair.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, just send Dalen to a chiropractor. Be like, hey man, let's maybe get Shakira to come to camp. I don't know, but
He's gonna look great in those Steelers practices because he's gonna have Drew Aller on the other side of him.
That's true. He's gonna look real good.
Yeah. And also, the Steelers don't have any quicker, shiftier wide receivers unless they drafted any. They have a tall giant in DK Metcalf, and we saw Dalen lock down tall giants
Hmm
That
or
is true.
fast giants. All right, so I do want
I'll
to go through. Well, before we get into that, the player that you are least happy with where they were drafted.
It's
honestly, I was
I
just like
don't.
Christian Miller and Oscar Delp going to the Saints.
I don't hate
Yeah,
Christian going.
Yeah, Oscar Delp in particular.
Yeah.
I don't like in New Orleans.
That's tough, especially because their quarterback situation is so weird,
Yeah,
right?
hmm
But they still think they're going to be able to get Arch or like a
Yeah.
top half of the first round quarterback next year.
hmm
hmm
And if that's the case, Oscar Delp is the type of tight end that is a rookie quarterback's best friend.
Yeah.
I'll say
So
Colby going to the Bengals sucks. Another Georgia player that was very good is just going to wither away in nothingness in Cincinnati. So that kind of sucks for him.
that's
Yeah.
the problem with Cincinnati is they love to get these great players in and then pay them so much that they can't leave and then never do anything.
Yeah.
hmm
I will say too, there's gonna be a lot of teams who are thinking this, we got to tank this year for Arch, we got to tank this year for whoever. No, wait a couple of years, and in a couple of years you go down for Beaver.
Big Beaver guys over here.
Yeah.
Please clip that and post it to social media.
Of course.
Um,
Just thought of that on the spot, guys. That wasn't in the notes.
absolutely was not. I would have been waiting for that one. All right, so lost my train of thought. Undrafted free agents. I just want to go through a few of them. Dylan Bell to the Vikings.
Boo.
Brett Thorson to the Vikings.
Boo.
Bo Gardner to the Bears.
Boo.
Yeah. Cash Jones to the Falcons.
Who?
Cash Jones to the Falcons.
Whomst?
Noah Thomas to the Bengals.
Again.
And then Ja'Cory Thomas to the Panthers.
I didn't realize. I didn't think about that. Noah Thomas and Colby Young again sharing a sideline.
Are they going to be the most elite Georgia wide receiver duo to not do anything in college and then also not do anything in the NFL?
No, look, they're coming for Jamar Chase. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Better watch it.
Pause.
T. Higgins is also still on that team, which is a problem.
Yeah,
At least I think.
that doesn't help.
Did they
you
pay
know.
him?
Yeah, they paid him. No, they paid 3 people. That's all they're gonna pay.
Oh, correct. Yeah. Joe Burrow, Chase, T. Higgins, and poverty is the Bengals' plan.
Yep.
Maybe they're just gonna play 7-on-7. I don't know.
Are Joe Burrow's lower body joints capable of him running that much?
Probably not anymore.
All right, so obviously the worst two of these are Dylan Bell to the Vikings and Brett Thorson to the Vikings, and then
I
Bo
just want
Gardner
Brett
to the
Thorson
Bears.
anywhere. I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
He's
will
gonna get
get
a lot of work.
lot of chances to punt.
Yeah,
Yes.
with 9 back there. Yeah. Hopefully.
With 9 back
Yeah.
there.
9.
And then Bo Gardner to the Bears. The good news is he is a long snapper,
He'll probably have a lot of opportunities there too.
so he'll get a lot of opportunities between punts and kicks. So what is y'all's favorite free agent signing? And
I mean, it's got to be Cash Jones,
Yeah,
I was
right?
gonna say,
yeah.
there's only
Yeah.
one that we haven't talked trash about, so it's pretty.
Yeah, I don't know where he'll stand on that, but I mean,
Oh,
even
he's taking Bijan's job. Let's be real, guys. Come on.
yeah, he's got
So,
the fan base behind him.
um,
I don't know. Every
who
time I talk about Cash Jones lately, it's just, oh, he sold us against Alabama. Like
what?
it was his fault he was asked to do something that's nowhere near his skill set on one play. And you're going to let one play define this guy, but these are the same people who forgave Carson Beck again and again for throwing 4 interceptions a game.
Hmm.
You
Right.
can't.
And also, let's not forget, Cash Jones was the one that caught the onside kick against Texas.
Yeah, which was huge.
Yeah.
Hmm.
In
Yeah, oh,
case
yeah.
you guys are forgetting. I know we won that game by 25. He was a big part of the reason why. And I'm sick and tired of these, armchair coaches on the internet who base their opinion on a player's talent on how many stars a journalist gave him when he played football in high school. It's ridiculous.
Or by the worst play that someone made in their career.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, let's be real here, guys. If that's the case, you all still hate Stetson Bennett.
Yep.
You can't judge somebody off the worst play. You can't judge somebody off the best play.
Yeah. You
Somewhere
all
in the
still
middle.
hate Stetson Bennett based on something that he did in a game that he then went to come back and win with his bare hands.
Hmm.
Yep.
You know who doesn't hate Stetson Bennett is Sean McVay, but that's
That's
another
true.
story.
His reaction to that Ty Simpson pick.
And then when he had the GM sitting next to him at the podium, and it was just hatred. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, cool. He's going to compete with Stetson, is what was said. We made a pick in the first round to compete for the backup job. That's what we did.
Hmm.
All right, so I did have to look up the Falcons running back room. Nathan Carter,
Ooh, not in a good way.
Unironically.
Yeah,
Tyler Goodson,
bad son.
Carlos Washington Jr.
Sounds like Ice needs to come after him.
Let's just say he can probably run. Yeah.
And then Brian Robinson and Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, because Algier isn't there anymore, so that was the only other one worth a damn.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest. Of these guys, of the ones that I have watched play, which, to be fair, I do remember Nathan Carter at Michigan State. But out of everybody else, Cash has the best hands out of the backfield.
Yeah.
Other
He
than
genuinely
Bijan.
other than Bijan.
Bijan's a top 5 running back in the NFL. Like, I'm not going to come out here and try to say that Cash Jones anywhere close.
But Cash Jones could easily take over the old Tyler Algiers third down back role easily. I mean, that's basically what he did at Georgia last year.
And also special teams. Cash Jones is a day one special teamer.
Oh yeah,
because he will be willing to die for the team on every special teams play, and you're not getting an NFL. You're not getting most NFL players to do that.
Yeah, I had an old buddy. Not to make this sad, but I had an old buddy in high school who was going to walk on at Georgia, who sadly passed away before he got a chance to. But he was not as he was in the same class in school as Malcolm Mitchell, and he was jumping in as a wide receiver to walk on at Georgia, and he's like, I just hope he puts me on kickoff team so I can hit somebody. That's Cash Jones.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, correct. All right, guys. We don't officially have a plan for the rest of this week or even next week, so just keep an eye out. We will make sure that we let everybody know when and if the next episode. Well, when the next episode comes out, we're definitely going to have one. Is it going to be this week or next? We don't know. But to keep up to date with that information, follow us on social media at nothing.finer.pod on Instagram, at FinerPod on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Just look us up and you can find us there. And most importantly, remember there's nothing finer in the land
than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan.